Hi guys, welcome to Moonikkitchen Addiction. It's your girl, the only Monique with the double KK. So guys, in this video I am going to be showing you guys 3 ways to cook your okra soup. So this is going to be a compilation of the oilless okra, that's okra pepper soup, oil okra, and the one you can use to eat stew. So first we're going to start with the oilless okra, that's the okra pepper soup. So first, this is the okra that I will be using to cook the tiri. I'm going to share it into 3 parts. So now this is how I cut my okra whenever I want to cook okra pepper soup or white okra. Okay, so this is how I cut it. Some people use blender, some people use grater, but for me I love to cut it with knife. Okay, so this is my preferred shape and size. Okay, so after cutting it, then I'm going to introduce to you the ingredients that I will be using to cook the oilless okra. So this is it. You see how beautiful and colorful it looks. So I'm going to put this aside. So guys, this is the ingredients. I will be using crayfish and dry pepper, and I'm going to dry blend them. So I will be using stockfish and dry fish. I'm going to use hot water to soak it for at least 3 minutes because the stockfish is not that strong. So I will be using mackerel fresh fish. You can use any fish of your choice. I will be adding shrimps. I normally love the dried one, but in my house they don't love the dried one, so I decide to use the fresh one. So I will be using cow intestine, that's ring, cow meat, and cow skin. You can use any meat of your choice, and I love to cut my meat into little sizes while cooking this soup. I will be using just 2 stock cube and salt. Okay, so you can use more or less ingredients depending on the quantity you are cooking. So I will be using chopped onions, 1 big onions, that's it. And now I already pour my meat inside the pot, and I'm going to add all the necessary ingredients. So guys, I am adding in the okporoko and dry fish. Like I said, if you are using the strong stockfish, please, you can pre-cook it, but I'm using the soft one. So I just pour in the blend crayfish and pepper, and then I added the salt and stock cube. So guys, now I will be adding in the fish, the fresh fish, and then I'm going to pour in a handful of chopped onions. So I'm not pouring in the full onions, okay, because I will be using the rest later. So guys, now I am going to pour in water. So at the beginning, I'm not going to pour in a lot of water because I don't know how slimy the okra is. You know, we are not so lucky with okra here in Western country, so I pour in a little water at the beginning. Then I'm just going to stir to mix, then cover it to cook. So I'm going to leave my meat to cook for at least 15 to 20 minutes. Okay guys. Now let's go back to the sliced okra. I'm just going to add the remaining of the onions inside the okra. So this is going to give it a very good, nice aroma or flavor. So I'm going to add in a little warm water, yeah, boiled water with boiler. So if you are using a lot of water to cook the meat, you can scoop from the stock water and use it to mix it this way. So guys, I'm just going to mix it. If you are using my recipe, mix it this way. This will help enhance the slimy. Sometimes some okra comes out not so slimy, so you do it this way. So after that, I'm going to go back to my pot and check my meat if it is fully done. So let's check if the meat is done. Yeah, this is after like 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm just going to stir, taste. Then I realize that my meat is fully done to my taste, and I'm just going to gently pour in the minced okra. So guys, after pouring it in, I'm just going to stir. So while stirring, I realized that it was too thick for me. Like for me, I don't love this okra soup to be thick. I call it okra pepper soup. Like, so I love it a bit watery, like not so thick, not so watery. Now I'm going to add in a little warm water to it, to the consistency that I want. So if you love it thick, you can leave it this way. If you love it not so thick, you can add in water at this point. Okay guys, so guys, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please hit on the subscribe button, like and share. So after adding in the water, I'm just going to stir. Remember, we are not going to cover it anymore, because when you cover it, if you are cooking a very slimy okra, like I tell you, it's going to mess up your gas. Now after stirring, I'm just going to leave it to cook for at least 6 minutes. I don't like my okra to be overdone, and it doesn't take time for okra to be fully done. Like if you eat raw okra self, it's very healthy too. So this is how I want it. I'm just going to stir it and leave it for another 2 minutes, making it like about 6 minutes, and my okra pepper soup or okra white soup or okra oilless soup is ready. Like guys, you guys need to give this a try. Really delicious. Like I really love to mush this with, like you can mush it with anything. Like if you are a food muncher, you can mush it with fufu, anything. Sometimes, let me just tell you one secret. I use this to eat plantain, not so ripe plantain. I don't just know why some people call me village girl. Whenever they see me eating, using this to eat plantain, man, I love it with unripe plantain. So now we are going to put this aside as it is fully ready and delicious. Over to the next. So this is the okra, and we are still going to share this okra into two and keep one part. So we use one part to cook the red oil okra. So guys, how I like my red oil okra, I love to use grater to grate it. Okay guys, so because we are adding vegetable to this one, so I am going to use grater to grate it, and this is it after grating it. So let's keep the okra aside and let's start cooking. Okay guys, so this soup is very delicious. Okay, so I just placed my pot on fire. I'm just going to pour in the meat. I'm using cow throat, cow skin, and cow meat. Okay guys, I'm just going to use 2 salt cubes and a little salt. So I'm going to add in my salt. I just pour in a bowl of water, diced onions, so I'm going to start to mix. After that, I'm going to add oregano. That's the only seasoning that I will be using. Okay guys, please, if you are using this recipe, make sure you add oregano to it, and it's going to enhance the flavor. Like, oh my god. So I just added. I'm still going to add more behind the scene. Okay guys, so for now this is okay. So after that, I'm just going to stir. then cover to cook. I'm going to leave it to cook for 10 to 15 minutes. Voila. So this is it. Our meat is fully cooked. So I taste it and it's cooked to my taste. So guys, if this is your first time here, please don't forget to hit on the subscribe button. Now I am going to remove the meat from the fire. I'm just going to transfer it into a bowl. Okay guys, after that I'm going to place a dry pot on fire, leave it to dry for at least 5 seconds. Then I'm going to pour in my red oil. We are using red oil. Okay, after then I'm just going to leave it to hot for like 30 seconds because I don't want it to be fully bleached out. Then I pour in my diced onions. Guys, if you are cooking okra, make sure your onions chip, you cut it this way. Okay, I don't like the round shape while cooking soup. So I'm just going to stir to fry. After then guys, I am going to pour in my chopped meat. You can buy it like this at the supermarket, or you can chop, maybe you have leftover meat at home, you can just chop it to this size. Like I love to use a bite to pick little meat inside this particular soup, so that's why I added that. Okay, it's optional though. So I'm just going to stir it to fry for at least 30 seconds. After that, I am going to pour in the blend onions, blend tomatoes, and chopped scotch bonnet. Note I did blend the scotch bonnet. Okay, and you have to use scotch bonnet to cook this particular okra. Okay guys, after that I'm going to stir, then cover it to cook for at least 4 minutes. So this is after 4 minutes. I'm going to stir, then add in, this is canned melusa fish. Okay, this is how I bought it, boneless, no bone, no skin. So I just added it in. Everything is going to break inside. You guys know how melusa fish is, so I just love it with this soup, so I added a little. I normally use this melusa fish to cook spaghetti. So I'm going to stir and cover it to cook for at least 2 minutes, and we okay. So now I'm going to add in the salt and just a little stock cube, just a little stock cube, just little. Okay, I just don't want that stock cube to waste, and I just want it to also cook along with the fish. That's why I added that stock cube. Okay guys, now I'm going to stir, then pour in the stock water and the already boiled meat. You guys know that I really love to stir food, so pardon me. So I'm just going to pour it in along with the water, and I'm going to stir to mix. So guys, please hit on the subscribe button, like and share. Okay, you know, compilation video is one of the most difficult content ever. So if you find this useful, please give it a thumbs up. Okay, so guys, after adding everything, I'm going to cover it to cook for another 5 minutes. Okay guys, so this is after 5 minutes. I'm going to stir, then gently pour in the okra. So you wonder why I cook it this way. Like most people like to cook it with just red oil, so I don't like that. Like if you cook it with red oil, after it's cool, all the red oil will go up, then the okra will still remain white. I don't just like that pattern. I love, this is just my best pattern whenever I want to cook it with red oil. So I'm going to stir to mint. So if you also like this pattern, you can also give it a try. So at this point, I also realized that it's a bit thick. Yeah, remember I didn't use much water because the okra was not that much. So now I'm still going to add in a little warm water. So after adding the water, I am still going to stir to mix. Then add in the chopped spinach. You can use any vegetable of your choice. So after that, I'm going to stir very well, like aggressively, so it can mix with the vegetables. So guys, like I know I cooked tiri okra, like I will tell you guys to give this a try, this red oil okra soup. Like this was really delicious. Like use this one rich correct fufu. I will post the video, so I will drop the, whenever I do mukbang video with it, I'm going to drop the mukbang video link in the description box. So I think I won't be doing that today, maybe in 2 days time. Man, yeah, I really mushed the soup pat. So guys, after pouring in everything, we're just going to leave it to cook for 5 minutes and everything is done. I don't let my okra or vegetable soup to stay too long on fire. So you see how beautiful, how colorful it looks. Like, let me tell you, it tastes just like it looks. So guys, let's keep cooking. Now we're just going to leave it to cook for another 1 minute. Then it's done. We'll remove it from the fire and proceed to the next. So guys, if you like this, you can give it a thumbs up, give it a visible thumbs up. Okay guys, like, share and subscribe. Now let's go to the last one. So this is the last okra, and I'm going to start cutting immediately. So this one is the one that I use to eat stew. Yeah, maybe you don't have soup at home, maybe you have soup, you just want to eat something else. Everything at home is boring. Like whenever I cook stew, just know that I have this okra separate aside. Man, if you know me in person, you will know that, man, this is my next emergency soup. So guys, this is the shape that I love to cut it into, because I love to use my fufu to pick it just like meat. So this is it. I'm just going to cut it to this shape and size. So you can cut it into any shape or size that you want. So guys, I am done cutting it and I'm going to put this aside. Then I'm going to place a pan on fire, adding a little water, not so much water. So after pouring in water, I'm going to leave the water to boil up. So it's going to take just like 2 seconds. So then the first thing that I'm going to put inside when it boils up is just a little half stock cube and salt. Okay, I'm going to stir it so the stock cube can absorb very well. After then, the next thing that I'm going to pour in is the crayfish. Like if you don't like crayfish this way, you can blend it, but for me, if I want to cook this soup, I normally use my crayfish this way. It is well picked. Okay, I pick out the dirt and use it this way. So after putting it in, I'm going to stir and leave it to cook with the water for 30 seconds. After then, I'm going to pour in the chopped onions. So I'm just going to stir to mix and leave it to cook for just 1 minute. Like this is the most fastest recipe, right? So if you love to eat okra with stew, feel free to also try this. Now after 1 minute, I'm going to pour in the sliced okra. After pouring it in, I'm going to stir and just leave it to cook. Like I'm going to keep stirring till it's fully done to my taste, because it's not going to stay more than 2 minutes on fire, and my gas and pot is very aggressive. So just beat it this way so it can come out very smart and slimy. So I love this a bit watery, yeah. So maybe kids want to eat along with you, and you know kids cannot swallow this okra, so you have to add in a lot of water so the kids can use the slimy water to eat. But for me, I just like the okra like this. So I'm going to add in a little water. So I'm adding in warm water though. So I just added water. In total, I think it didn't take up to 5 minutes for this soup to be fully done. Like this particular one, I call it my emergency soup. Like whenever I'm hungry, I have soup at home, or I have stew at home, or I just cook new stew. I normally use this. So guys, our okra soup is ready. I'm just going to serve the stew. So I will be using onion stew. If you want to see how I cook this stew, I'm going to drop the link in the description box. Okay, this stew was prepared strictly with onions and scotch bonnet, no tomatoes, nothing. So I love it with onion stew. So for those who don't know, this is how this okra is being served and consumed. So you can use it to eat fufu or anything of your choice. Okay guys, so if I'm asked to choose among these three, like naturally I love okra soup, like I love the trio, but for this particular day that I cook this three, I would say for me, my favorite okra is the white pepper soup one. That is my favorite. But well, after cooking this three, everyone in the house went for the oil mixed with vegetable, and they said, man, this one beat the rest hands down. But at the end of the day, all of us each of the rest, you understand? So like the oil one really came out nice. My favorite is the pepper soup one. So it's set, see how beautiful it looks. This is the oil one. Like this one was the one that won the vote, so give it a try. And this is my favorite, and the other one is my emergency one. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you.